Hey, what's up everyone? Upstart here with RyXe Gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory. Now, in the previous episode, we've been getting a few things analyzed. We got some Caterium ore, got ourselves a hard drive, and an alternative recipe. And right now we have Quickwire currently analyzing. Uh, also, we've been getting that concrete factory set up there, which isn't much right now, but that's what we're gonna do today. Also, after the Quickwire finishes analyzing, I'm going to finally get the hub and everything that's on this rock up onto the to the platform, because I'm getting tired of just having to jump up and down, you know, going up this instead of just walking straight in. And I'm pretty sure you guys are too. So let's get to it. And I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright, so just a quick update. Um, I forgot that I needed the conveyor pole stackable, so I went ahead and just grabbed all the items I needed so we can get that, because without that, there isn't much I can get done. So those, and I need 20 of these. There you go. Launch.
Milestone reached. We encourage you to consider more verticality when it comes to factory logistics to streamline short-range transportation.
Alright, and our quick wire is done, so let's check it out.
New technologies have been developed based on this new element, primarily in power and electronics, and can now be accessed in Hub Tier 5.
Well, we're nowhere near getting to Hub Tier 5, so that's gonna have to wait. Yeah. No supercomputers either. So that is that. And now our hub is on top of the platform. I did move it over a little bit. It used to be somewhere around here. I decided to move it a little further down. Reason being, I didn't want to remove that just yet because the cables are all over the place. So for now, I'm just gonna leave that as is. I put a few ramps over here, a few walkway ramps over there as well to make it a little easier. But later on, that's gonna get removed. There's gonna be covered probably as well with foundations, just so it won't be all just like, well, crazy rock formations all over the place. But for now, well, that's that. Also, we can now make the blade runner, so we can start running faster. I've already taken the liberty of getting all the materials together. There we go. Much faster, much better. Definitely better. Alright, and this is the progress I've made with the concrete factory. I haven't brought up the conveyor belts over here. I haven't done anything like that. I just want to show you guys a little bit of progress. Up there I have 4 constructors. I actually decided to move it from that side to this side. Reason being, since the raw materials are going to go up here, and then on this side is the entrance, or the intake for the constructors, then the output's going to be on that side, and I actually want the containers on that side, so I'm just going to have a huge stack of the industrial containers, like reaching up to the sky, and then some conveyor lifts just taking it all the way from here and just going all the way up. And since I'm actually going to be using 4 nodes. I have 3 on that side, and I actually found that there is another one not very far from here in that direction. I'm on limestone. There it is. It's like 300 meters in that direction. The one that's right over there, it's 200. 100 is not that much anymore, especially for the ones that are the one that's further down. I'm also going to bring that over here. So getting that one, I guess it's fine. So I have one set up here. There's a second one there, a third one, and lastly the fourth one. Still work in progress. I haven't completed it. I just wanted to put down some walls to have it as placeholders. So this is pretty much the end of this, and this right here is where the highway is gonna start. I originally intended it for it to be this one and this one, but since I decided to add another one, that would use up or take up four of these foundations. So that's those 3 and this one here. So I decided to just move it over, and so it's gonna start from here, and it's gonna be 1, 2, and I actually decided to make it 3 foundations wide. Here I placed another wall, but the just the metal looking one, because here's where the iron factory, the factory with all the iron stuff, like for the iron plates, the iron rods and screws. I think that's how it's gonna go here, and it's gonna go all the way down there. So for every node, it's 4 foundations. So it's gonna be there's 5 nodes over there, so it's gonna be 20 foundations long from here, pretty much to where that rock is right there. So let me go ahead and start moving all the at least the concrete assembly line, and start getting everything moved over here, and I'll show you guys when I get that done. Alright everyone, here it is. It's still not complete. So far I only have the first 4 constructors working. It's not optimized because we still need to get the at least for now, the Mark III conveyor belts, also the Mark III conveyor lifts. Also for the constructors, also on the smelters, not the smelters, I mean the miners, we have the Mark IIs available, but I still don't have the required materials to make the Mark IIs. So for now we're going to be going on Mark Is. And to really optimize these, well, we would also need to throw in some power shards to see where it's going to require, and we also need to see where it's going to require it, either in the miners or in the constructors. Most likely in the constructors. They're probably not going to be able to keep up with production with the supply, but here it is. Right now I got 4 constructors going, and this is only from 1 node. Yes, it's not getting enough resources fast enough, but that goes back to the same issue that we need faster conveyor belts and we need the faster miners. But that's how that's more or less how it's gonna look. From here, once I get the containers set up, they're gonna be like a stack of 7 industrial containers reaching up to the sky, and so will conveyor lifts going as high as they need to, and just from there throw conveyor belts out towards the containers on that side. But for now, this is gonna have to do. Until I get the steel factory going, because I need to set that up as well, so we can start getting the pipes which are required for the minor Mark IIs. Also the encased industrial beams, we're gonna need the steel beams for those. Also, since we finished the research of the quick wire, or was it on a milestone? No, on the milestone, not the quick wire. The power pole Mark IIs were unlocked, so I've started using those. These have 7 wire slots, and that's pretty much the main reason why how I can have that, because that uses 5. What I do here is I put one right at the corner. One is connected to pretty much like the street power grid, and then from there I have another power pole further down, and I have one of these connected to 3 machines, and then so on and so forth. But for now it's just going to be those 4. I'm probably just gonna hotwire it to some regular storage bins down here, just so we can keep production going. Probably just gonna have one storage bin over here and just have it bringing it down on this side, one for each. And yeah, that's pretty much it with the beginning of this factory. And what I did with all these conveyor poles and belts, I pretty much have, there's a node over there, so I have that coming all the way over here, going higher and higher on these stackable poles. And then from over there, I have one right there. It's coming over here, and then the 2 from over there, I actually haven't connected them yet. They stopped right there, but those are gonna go further down onto that pole right there between the trees, and then this pole, and then that's gonna eventually connect here, and that's gonna run down that line. So I have one running on here and one running on the top that goes all the way down. But as there is no more conveyor belts or lifts going up or anything, so that's where they stop. They stop there. Alright, so the next thing I'm gonna do is probably set up the steel factory, start getting it something like this. Not completely finished, but you know, to start getting production of the steel pipes, well, steel ingots, then the steel pipes, and the industrial beams, or the steel beams. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll be back with you guys when I get a rough factory going. So as per usual, little old me forgot something something that's not maybe a tiny bit important. To actually get the alternative steel ingot blueprint, I have to do a milestone here in tier 4. It requires 100 iron ore and 100 coal. I figured that I figured that out right before I was about to start up my factory, and I realized I couldn't get the I couldn't select that recipe, and I'm like, oh, I think I forgot something. Yeah. So launch. Oh look, it doesn't even launch the pod this time. Alright, let's head over to my factory. Alright everyone, now after many long hours of planning and trial and error of trying to get things to look somewhat, you know, clean, not too sloppy, I I more or less came up with this. So the first things first is I got some mergers, splitters, and I connected them to each of the miners up here where the coal deposits are. So there's one there, one's right in front of this miner, and one's right over there. So I have my conveyor belts running down that way. So here I have the three conveyor belts here, three miners converging here. And while I was here, what I decided to do was to also change some of the power poles, because the ones I had up here originally were Mark 1s, and I decided to just make it maybe a little cleaner with some Mark 2s. So I have one there. I have one there going across this conveyor belt here. And then I have one right under there, one over there. And so I decided to make this a 4-lane ramp. And also there's four lanes down there, foundations. Reason being, just trying to maybe future-proof. I don't know if this will work, but I'm hoping it will. Just a little heads up for you guys, for those that don't know. In my inventory here, I have one yellow power slug that I already knew where this was. Down on this ledge over here. Right somewhere down here. That's where you can get that. It's a bit tricky to get it, but if you just put a bunch of foundations or walkways or whatnot, then it should be pretty easy, even if you don't have a jetpack, which we're not at that point yet. So let me just give you guys a little tour, and we're gonna head down from here down to where I have my prototype factory. Let me just try to get on here without falling. Okay. So originally I had my power poles running down that side, but as they were also just Mark 1s, I decided to move them over to this side to have the conveyor belts and the power poles running down the same lane. So I'm just gonna run all the way down. I don't want to fall down though. I still haven't cleaned up most of the trees. As you guys noticed, up on top there were still a lot of trees and shrubbery and all that. That's because I'm gonna do that later. Right now I just wanted to focus on getting my my steel production factory running, at the very least to get the foundries running, which is exactly what I did. I don't have any constructors. I don't have any steel beams or steel pipes being produced, but I at least have the steel ingots being produced. Right now I currently only have 4 foundries up top producing, but I've got just about all the conveyor belts, merger splitters here. I've got all these things set up now. On the bottom I have all the coal, and on the top I have all the steel, the iron ingots. I decided to have the coal run through the back and go on the bottom splitters, and I had the steel ingots run through the top from that side onto the top mergers or splitters. So over here, this is what caused me the biggest headache, mainly because in my other playthroughs I had this set up a little differently. It's still mostly the same, but it was a little differently. Reason why it's different this time around is because I try to make plenty of room here for my highway try to like I mentioned up above, try to future proof a little. I don't know if it'll work, but hey, it's worth a shot. Right here, I pretty much covered not the entirety of this little area here where the 3 iron nodes are, but I did cover most of it, and I just decided to bring them up with conveyor lifts, which was something that I didn't do previously. So this was something kind of new to me, so that's why things don't look as pretty as at least in other playthroughs that I've had, and of course you guys haven't seen. But it looks much prettier in the other playthrough than this one. But hey, it works. This is the way I've always done this because it works for me. So it may look a little sloppy, it may look, well, not pretty, but it works. It's not optimized, it's not efficient yet because I still need the faster conveyor belts. I also need power shards to get things to go faster. I need the better miners, which I only have Mark 1s here. So everything's still kind of slow, but once I get those up and running, it'll be much faster. So let's go up into the factories. So the prototype, these are the 4 foundries I got going. There's gonna be another level up above where I'm gonna have half of it, or maybe just 4 constructors, 1 for each of these foundries, for maybe steel beams, and the rest maybe for steel pipes. Reason being, previously I just ran half and half, but later on I needed way more pipes than I needed steel beams, because once I got to the encased steel beam, and I was at I think the Mark 4, I was still using a lot of steel beam, but I wasn't using as much. I was using much with the alternative recipes for like rotors and stators. I was using much more steel pipes. So for that reason, I'm gonna go only with a few for steel beams, and just to not have to deal with it later on in the future. Yes, it might be a little slow in production because I'm gonna have to change everything to the Mark 3s before I get to the Mark 4s. But it'll save me a headache later on. I haven't covered this completely because I've only gotten to this part. So that's more or less there. So here, let me explain the iron ingot part with all the smelters over here. So what I have over here, I put these floating. Since the splitters and mergers, they can be placed stacked. All I did was go 3 high, and just so I can leave some like moving around room down here, because it gets pretty I don't know, how can I say, it's just a mess with everything on the ground, and I'm just having to jump over everything, and I can't really like take a look at what's going on. So I decided to have it above ground. At least I can walk under this, run under this. So the setup I have here with these splitters here, I have 3 splitters, pretty much the same concept with the factories over here, but I just have them so I can split to four smelters, because that's what I figured was most efficient, having 4 smelters to give me all of them to produce iron ingots. Now here I have 3 mergers, pretty much in the same way I have this, but you know, just bringing them 2 smelters going to 1 merger, 2 others into another one, and then those 2 mergers connecting to 1 other merger, so only 1 line goes through to connect to these splitters over here up top. And right there I have three lines going, 3 conveyor belts going, 1 for each node. There's 4 smelters each in each, so that's 12 total. And so for the next part of this, which will be to add the next layer, or the next part of the production line, which is adding the constructors, I'm gonna expand on this ramp, or this stairway I made, so it can spiral up again to the next level. And then from here, this is where the output comes. And then from here, it's just gonna go from here up to one of these, and then it's gonna run up, and then it's gonna run over to a constructor, and then the final product would just run over this way to the containers, which aren't gonna be implemented yet, because those require, if I'm not mistaken, they require a ton of encased industrial beams. I don't think I even have those available yet. I have to, they're still in a milestone, I think. Yep. So, but those are the ones I like to use over here. This one's only gonna, since it's only 3 nodes, it's only gonna be like 12 sections long, or 12 foundations long. This one isn't gonna be very long. The one that's gonna be the longest, I believe, is gonna be the iron factory down by the base, because that one has 5 nodes. The concrete one has 4, so it's still pretty long, and that one has 20. The other one has no, the concrete one has 16, I mean. The other one's gonna have 20. So I think this is where I'm gonna end the episode. In the next one, I'm gonna construct the next level and try to get maybe more foundries up and running after I get the next level constructed. But that's gonna be all for now. Thank you all for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more. Hit that like button if you liked the episode, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye bye.